What's up, brothers and sisters? This is G World 7 Space D. Um, this is not gonna be a real long video. I'm just gonna talk about, just talk about various things I noticed. I want to say this. I'm all for reparation for blacks in America, Aboriginal, native-born blacks in America. I don't like the term ADOS. I believe, like I said in my other video, we're more prisoners of war than, excuse me, than say that we're like American descendants of slaves. But what I want to really comment on is I notice how a lot of foreign-born blacks seem to have an issue with us pushing for reparation for ourselves. I guess they feel that it's being divisive. And really, just truly it's sad, but what it really shows, though, the true colors of our so-called brothers from other countries, or what people use the term the African diaspora, which I don't consider us the African diaspora. We're Aboriginal Americans. But I find that sad, but it shows you true people, their true colors, when you would think that, hey, you're black people, you've been through so much in this country. We want to see you, excuse me, again, to get your reparations. But instead, you're fighting along with racist white liberals and conservatives to try to block us for getting reparations, man. Because really, in the long run, you don't get anything. And that really probably seems like it may bother them. We're being divisive because we're actually looking out for ourselves now. Because with Pan-Africanism and that push for Pan-Africanism, it seems like all of our issues have been put on the back burner instead of looking out for black people first here in America, blacks in America first. A lot of these other individuals, they wanted to ride on our coattail and capitalize off of our struggle here, but they're quick to differentiate themselves from us, man. And which is, I'm all for differentiate ourselves from them, but some of my people, are into just saying black is black. We all the same, which we're not. Not all black people in America are the same, man. There's differences in region. Southerners are different from people in the Midwest, or the people out west are different from the people out east. We're different. We're all not the same. Even within the state itself, the northern part of the state may be culturally different from the southern part of the state. So we're not all the same. And when I hear people saying that we're all the same, it really bugs me. It really also bugs me that it's a certain element of blacks. I guess maybe you say, I hear some of these real younger blacks will make dumbass statements, say we don't have no culture. To me, that's the most ignorant thing you can ever hear, man. We have a great culture in America. The best culture in the world, black culture in this country, man. For when I hear people say we have no culture, I'm disgusted when I hear stuff like that. To me, as a person who's uneducated and just talking out of the side of their mouth, man. And when I hear Charlemagne, I remember hearing Charlemagne the God talking to, I forget the rapper from, or the Afro pop artist from Nigeria. I mean, he was like, he was trying to hold his nuts, man. Like, brother, know your history, dude. Black people have a culture. We don't need to imitate Africans, man. A lot of them are imitating us, man. We are who we are and take pride in who we are, but many of us don't know who we are. We have a deep, rich history that goes beyond 1619 in this country. And I think that's the big problem, that so many blacks do not study their history beyond 1619, when it's told that our people was brought over as slaves. We were here way before that. But you have to study your damn history and stop depending on white people to tell your narrative, or even other black people not from here who will downplay your accomplishments, man. So don't do that. Don't do that to yourselves, man. You were here before 1619. Study your full history. Unfortunately, many black scholars, like I said in my other video, are extremely ignorant to a lot of the black history over the other side of the Atlantic. All they do is talk about Africa, but don't talk about our history here before 1619. We've been here way before that. We are the original people here in America. But if you don't study that, you won't know that. So that's really the part that really bothers me about us, man. We don't know who the hell we are. Some of us don't. Well, some of us do. And I really think that the term African American has been a detriment to us, man. Here in America, blacks in America, because we're not Africans. And we so romanticize the continent of Africa. And I hear a lot of these black folks doing that all the time when we're not African. We are indigenous black Americans, Aboriginal Americans, or whatever tribe you want to call yourself. We are that. But we're not Africans, man. So we got to stop that, man. That's one big hurling block. Once we get over there, and then once we start to unlock the key to our true history and knowing who we really are, and stop being denied. It seems like some of us are afraid to learn our true history because we don't want to ruin our status or standings with white folks. We are afraid that if we learn our true history that we might upset our so-called white friends or our so-called other people of color friends. And they may feel that we're supposedly trying to steal their history when in fact they have stolen ours, man. So I can care less about your so-called friends of other groups, man. You need to love yourself and reclaim all your history that other people have stolen, that you've been reclassified, relabeled as something else, and they've been reclassified, labeled as you, and now you look upon your own culture as a freaking alien, an outsider, when it's your culture, but then you look into another culture, claiming that's your culture, well, that's thousands of miles away when you stand in your culture. So man, we need to wake up. We need to get out of this stuff of trying to build with other people, or let me phrase that. We need to get out the idea of trying to put money into other places and not put it here first, man. We need to look out for ourselves first. And black Americans need to do that. Now, that's the weakness about Pan-Africanism, man. We're too busy focused on outside entities instead of us here. We need to just focus on us. Other people come here, capitalize over us, then they want to dog us, man. Even though, like I said, our own black folks. Got to stop that, man. Look out for black Americans first and foremost. That's who we need to look after. Build our wealth. Love ourselves. Build our family relationships, man, because no one knows us or our struggle in this country better than us. Because I've heard a couple of foreign-born blacks, mainly Nigerian, make comments how there's one individual talking about they hope black Americans get their reparations, but so they can travel throughout the continent of Africa because they don't know Africa is a continent, not a country. I mean, really? Ignorant statements like that. So because they're mad because I guess certain black people, a couple black people viewed Africa and made a country, comment about Africa being a country. Well, I know it's a continent. So the Americas are a continent. But it's those type of statements are like sort of backhanded statements where, oh, you for reparations, but do you want to take our reparations, then we go travel Africa? No. I'll pass on that one. But ignorant statements like that by outsiders, even though if they're born here in America, they're not of Aboriginal black descent. I don't think they need to be commenting on our history or our struggle like that, or making statements like that. Unfortunately, some of these individuals have large following on YouTube, and they make these reckless type of statements. And unfortunately, many of our people who don't know our history have a deep sense of self-hatred, and then they want to, I guess they feel they want to romanticize Africa and then claim that they don't have no culture because our culture was supposedly robbed by Europeans that we lost our culture and everything, which is not true. Is that we just forgot our culture. I wouldn't say we lost it, we forgot about it. If we really, now we need to relearn our culture and to claim it, because our culture's here in America. Oh no, not necessarily going back to Africa. It's here in America. But see, you're gonna have to open your eyes and understand that most black people were not brought over on no slave ships. We were here. And it's the sad part about it. So many people cannot comprehend that or don't want to comprehend that. Like I said that in my last video, but it's a state of emergency for black Americans, black people, period, globally, but my focus on black Americans, man. We got to stop talking about helping out others instead of helping ourselves. I mean, you had this one Negro online who claims to be a Pan-African, I guess. And he goes around, dissing people, talking about people to some degree, and be yelling all on this podcast. I think that's his podcast or his YouTube show, whatever. And he talking about what he's building in Africa. I mean, damn, brother, what you need to be building in America. What the hell are you building in Africa for? You Negroes talking about going over Africa building stuff, but you need to be doing some buildings for brothers and sisters here and helping brothers and sisters here out first. But you always talking about going to Africa. I don't understand that. And then you got brothers and sisters in Africa who coming over here all the time, but we've been tricked to go over there. I'm not saying you shouldn't travel, but damn, man, I think that people trying to push that narrative, say black people need to go back to Africa, black Americans, man, you need to go to hell, man. This is our country. We going back. What are we going back to? This is our country. Stop saying that you're not American, which you are. Don't allow the white folks' racism for them to continue to have you deny who you really are and where you really are truly from. So I just wish black people in America would wake up and realize and do some studying about the great history of black people in this country, man. Everyone else is running here. If their country's so great, why are they leaving their countries, man? Why are they leaving? They're leaving their countries, coming here. So no. And then they want to talk about our culture, say we have no culture. Really? If you love your culture so much, then you wouldn't leave your damn country and leave all the cultural aspects of your country, what it supposedly have, which you constantly brag about your culture. You wouldn't leave your damn country and the cultural aspects that surround that country, but still you want to come in this country and then dog out our culture, but then you want to ram your culture down our throats, man. That's wrong. But some black Americans, man, who have a deep sense of, black people, period, but I'm focused on black Americans who have a deep sense of self-hatred for themselves, want to gravitate with something that they feel that if I call myself African or do this DNA test, I found out my African tribe. Man, that's a bunch of BS, man. Your culture, like I keep saying, is here in this country. You don't need to go to Africa to know your culture, be proud of who you are. And like I said, most black Americans are not African. There's only around 388,000 slaves that brought here to North America. Majority of black people in America are already here, period. Some of you Negroes not gonna like that. You don't want to hear that. I don't give a damn. This is a fact. You're not African. You're American. Your ancestors have been here for hundreds of thousands of years. So stop it. Like I said, I'm gonna put out some books, talk about more the subject matter, because it needs to be, because there's more and more black people waking up to their true history, man. We're not African, man. We've been here. We had civilizations here. You need to go no damn Africa, man. I'm hearing some of these dudes who call themselves a historian on there, talking about these African tribes. Well, you need to talk about the nations here in America, man. We are indigenous to the Americas. So I really wish more and more black people learn, but some of our people are not ready for our true history yet, man. It's like it's a little blockage that they're doing, man. It's sad. They're blocking themselves from really, or preventing themselves from not really trying to learn and grasp the true history, man. It's really sad. We at a sad state where we do not want to learn our true history. We just we're willing to sit down and continue to go by a narrative that was written by our oppressor, as well as these Negro gatekeepers who want to continue to use a narrative which is destructive to our people, man. We got to stop looking to a culture 1,000 miles away and look at a culture that's here that we standing on, that is so great and beautiful, man. We are the indigenous Americans. We are the original Americans. But we have to understand that, man. We have to know that, but we had to be stop with the Africa talk, man. I'm not saying that don't care about brothers and sisters over there, but we need to think about ourselves first. That comes first, man. How can the hell you talk about helping out someone else when you can't even do right by your own self? How are we talking about feeding and giving money to Africa when we have brothers and sisters here living on the street, living in the projects, don't have no money, man, don't have no resources, no job, but you talking about putting resources into Africa, man? I don't understand that. I really don't understand that, man. You need to get your home fixed before you start going abroad, man. And that's my problem with Pan Africans, man. I can't rock with them. I can't rock with any of them, man, because you need to worry about your backyard first before you start going abroad, man. I'm willing to work with people like-minded, but you need to resolve your issues in the backyard first. If you don't do that, man, you start talking about, you just talking about helping out black people and you don't look at color, or let me rephrase that. Helping out black people, but you do not look at black people and don't see a difference in different blacks, then you allow yourself to be used and taken advantage of, man. Like we have been with this Pan-African stuff, man. I think Pan-Africanism, personally, here in America, most black people's dead, man. And to me, personally, I think, thank goodness, because it should be dead. Because it's not working for black Americans, man. You may have few outliner cases with individuals, or it may benefit them, but as a whole, for black Americans, Pan-Africanism has been a failure. We need to focus on black people here and learn our Aboriginal history here more and more, learn who we are. And I think that the more we truly learn about our true Aboriginal history here in America, man, things will be great for black people in America. I mean, things, well, we still gonna have our problems, but it'll be much better. Things will get better. We'll realize that what we need to do to help our family here. And I don't need some foreign blacks or black people who are born here from foreign parents telling us who we are, tell us what we should do, or trying to interpret our history when they're interpreting our history just like that of the white oppressor that we had to deal with in this country for all these years, man. Yeah, so we really gonna have to wake up from that, man. And this is something that I'm going to really look into, man. Even more, because I work, in the past trying to help out brothers and sisters, man. And it's an uphill climb, but I'm not gonna give up, man. I'm not gonna give up, but it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. My nose like stopped up, but it's frustrating that our people, we continue to not do the things that's in our best interest, man. Our best interest is to focus on the black community here, economically, socially. We need to focus on black people here first. I don't want to hear no more Pan-Africanism coming from black people in America. We need to fix our problems here with Aboriginal, indigenous black Americans. Not talking about things, talking about fixing problems abroad. We have to fix our own issues here first. Get home base fixed first. Get your backyard fixed first before you talk about helping out other people, man. That's the main thing. Because we're not gonna get ahead with what we're doing. That's why I say I don't do not embrace Pan Africanism, man. It's dead in America. And I say, thank goodness, man. It's done. And we need to look out for ourselves, for black Americans. Until we do that, I don't see our situation getting better. How can it get better when you're too busy putting all your energy and time and focus on helping out black people abroad and talking about the mother continent? No, this is my mother continent. Well, actually, America's my grandmother continent. Let's put it that way. It's the grandmother continent. We've been here. We had civilizations here. Stop running from your true history and learn about it, please. And it's sad because there's so much information out there, but you're going to have to do the research, man. You got to put a lot together, too, because most time these authors and historians are not going to give you the information. You're going to have to critically assess it and break it down. But the information's there. The information's there. Instead of buying expensive Jordan shoes, man, cost you like $100-something, you can buy a couple books, man. Go to the library, man, and try to get journals and articles, publications, print out the articles, whatever, man. But we got to stop doing the most goofiest things, or stop thinking about always helping out brothers and sisters internationally when you need help here. You need to help yourself here first. And that really is something that I think that we will be better in. We will be in a better situation if we focus on us here in America. And that, to me, that is my plea to black folks, man. Stop pushing for illegal immigration, being in favor of that. And I know that probably most black people are not in favor of that, but a lot of these black politicians seem to be in favor of that. Vote their ass up out of office, man. If you don't believe in voting, just vote to get their ass up out of office. Because allowing more people in here illegally, I'm not against people coming here legally, but allowing just all these people to come over here and then favoring illegal immigration, it doesn't help black people in America, man. It's going to make our situation worse and going to put us in a deeper sinkhole, man. I don't understand black Americans when you don't think about yourself first. If that sounds selfish, fine. It's selfish. But you need to think about home base first. So to the Aboriginal black Americans, man, y'all got to wake up, man. First of all, stop calling yourself African American. Because anyone can call themselves African American. Hell, a white person from South Africa can call themselves African American. Don't do that. Trash that name. Call yourself an Aboriginal black. You identify in the fact that your heritage originates from here. You are a descendant of the original black people, who are the first people who populate this part of the world. You need to identify yourself within being Aboriginal, a true indigenous person here in America, man. Indigenous may not be a good term, but an Aboriginal person in America. When that white congressman made that statement, he made, that Freudian slip, saying that the Aborigines, well, he was telling the truth, but then you get Negroes like Al Sharpton. He was mad that the guy used the term Aborigine. I prefer to be called African American. Whatever. No, but we are Aboriginal to this land, man. Or, the true indigenous people to this land. But we're gonna have to do some things that we're not used to doing, is just start thinking about ourselves first. Black Americans come first. Whether you rather build within to help our brothers and sisters who've been here the longest, or continue to just put all your effort in doing things abroad. You need to focus here first. Like the black people in Australia need to focus on themselves first, man. The Aboriginal blacks of Australia. They need to look at them first. Look at themselves first, build up within. And we need to do that here in America. And what I'm saying makes sense. Some people are going to get mad. You don't know what you're talking about. We need Pan-African. No, we don't. What we need is black people here realizing the things that we need to do to build up within. And there's other things, man. If you study the true history of black people, black men and black women need to get together and realize we need to love each other. And love each other, we're going to help to destroy ourselves if we continue to talk about mixing and racing, mixing and dating people outside of our clan or our people. When you start mixing out, man, all you doing is diluting and destroying your tribal nation or your group nation, man. And I'm mainly talking about mixing out with white folks, man. You or other non-blacks, you can't do that, man. It's very destructive. That's what happened to a lot of these indigenous black groups in America, where they gave in, they gave up, and they openly, willingly mixed in with the white people and the Asians, and they diluted their blood, whereas they went from black to non-black. Perfect example, the Cherokee. The Cherokee they originally were black people, you know, and they're no longer black. Even though you still have some black Cherokees pushed out by the white ones, them non-black ones, and that's a lot of that happened through miscegenation. You know, I don't agree with that, man. That's been tried all over the world, and black people need to understand that when white people push for race mixing, they trying to dilute you or bleach you out, man. They tried in Australia, man. They tried that in Brazil, Argentina, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, man, Haiti. They tried that Dominican Republic. They tried that everywhere, man. Try to bleach us out, bleach black people out. But some black people don't get that, man. And that's another thing, man, because look at a lot of those Pacific Islands. They originally were black, but you see a lot of them have been mixed, particularly in the Polynesian and Micronesian island. You talk to them people and say that the original people there were black, man, they're ready to beat your ass, man. Or I'm descending to the Philippines, whatever. Even though the original Filipinos were black, but still, they'll get mad and try to whoop your ass over that, man. So you got a bunch of people who are mixed, do not want to acknowledge who the original people were, you know. And that's you get that with a lot of these people who have been diluted down, man. So that's one thing we as black Americans got to understand, man. We need to get ourselves together, build our family units, man. I come from a 2-parent household, man. You know, so, and the neighborhood I grew up in was basically a bunch of 2-parent household. And I grew up in a nice black neighborhood with a bunch of black professionals in it. So now all black people come from the hood. But I noticed during the 90s, there was a ghettoifying, of the black community, man. It was a ghettoifying of the black community in the 1990s, where being black means you a hood. Being black means you a thug. Being black, and it went from the 80s, where we were trying to promote upward mobility, to being a thug in the 90s, man. So we need to get our priorities straight, man. But I know that lots of times that comes from, basically comes from outside our communities, man, where people who do not look like us, who are definitely not our persuasion, are writing our narrative or writing a narrative claiming that this is what black life really is. It's just about struggle, and that's not true. Like I said, I'm not from the hood, man. And what the hell is the hood anyway? but I'm not from what has been stereotyped as the hood. I'm from what you call a well-to-do black neighborhood. Does that make me better than another individual? No, but the fact is I've seen nice situations with black people in, great situations with black people in, man. Not all of our neighborhoods are ran down, man. So I think that we, like I said, as black people, particularly black Americans, focus on us, focus on our struggle, focus on what's doing best for us here. Black people here. We gotta stop trying to please or trying to help out other people when we need to focus on ourselves here in America, man. So this is very important to me, because black Americans need to take heed to this, man. Because there's so many people who claim to learn about their history and they're wearing dashikis. No, man. Your history's here in America. Not to say that's not part of your history too, but your main history in America, man. You don't need to wear no dashikis and know who you are, man. You don't need to change your name to some little Osuju, whatever. You are indigenous to this land. Take pride in who you are. Other people will fight like hell to get over here, while you talking about running away from here because you allow some bigot to tell you to go back to Africa when you're not from Africa, or some bigot who's trying to block you from doing what you need to do. We need to just come together and build amongst ourselves first. Black Americans first, period. Black Americans first. That's where it should be. No one knows, no one has a stake in this country greater than us. We built this country. This country would be nothing without us. We built this country before 1619 and after 1619. We built it. But you have to learn your true history, man. Do not allow gatekeepers like Gates, who's on the second white wife, to tell you about your culture, who you are. Taking bogus ass DNA tests, man. Don't do that, man. Telling people that they're African, that they're not, quote, Indian, whatever. You are the original Indians. You are. You are the original people of America. But see, you have to know that. You have to study that. You have to understand that. When you don't know your history, you allow other people to sneak and steal it and claim it for themselves when it's actually yours. But you allow other people to take claim and a stake in something that's yours. But see, you're ignorant of it because you've been programmed to think that you're something else when you're not. Step one for Black Americans: stop calling yourself African. You do need to differentiate yourself from other blacks, and there's nothing wrong with that. They claim that they're this and that. Oh, well, fine, that's good. We need to differentiate ourselves. That's step one. Step two is that you have to break away from Pan-Africanism, man. Or your main focus being Pan-Africanism. Your main focus should be home base here in America, not Africa. You are Americans. Focus on Americans first. You're American first. You need to focus on Black American issues first. Once you get over those little miniature hurdles, things will be fine. Take pride in who you are. Love who you are. Be proud to be a Black American, an Aboriginal Black American. You are the original people of this hemisphere. Take pride in it. Take off the dashikis, man, because some of you guys look silly, man. I'm serious. Be proud of who you are here in America. And I'm going to really break down more stuff about black people in America little by little. So this is your brother, GWorld7_D. I love you. Stay black. Peace.